San Antonio's early season momentum took a significant hit on Tuesday as the team confirmed what many Spurs fans feared. Rising star Stephon Castle is dealing with a left hip flexor strain. An MRI revealed the extent of the injury, and the organization announced that he will be re-evaluated in 1 to 2 weeks. Castle's absence was immediately felt, as he sat out the Spurs' 111-101 win over the Memphis Grizzlies, just days after going down in the first half against the Sacramento Kings. Castle, who couldn't pinpoint the exact moment the injury occurred, admitted that the soreness in his hip escalated quickly. After leaving the Kings game at halftime, he did not return, sparking concern about the severity of the issue. Now, with the official diagnosis in hand, the Spurs must navigate the next stretch of the season without their electric young point guard. The loss is especially heavy given Castle's leap in production during his sophomore NBA campaign. Through 13 games, he has been exceptional, averaging 17.3 points, 5.8 rebounds, 7.5 assists and nearly 2 steals per game while playing 32 minutes a night. His efficiency, court vision, and ability to control the tempo have solidified him as the engine of the Spurs' fast-improving offense. Last season, he burst onto the scene with 14.7 points and 4.1 assists per game, earning Rookie of the Year honors after being selected 4th overall out of UConn. His evolution from promising rookie to full-fledged franchise cornerstone has been undeniable, but the Spurs' injury woes don't stop with Castle. They are also without the face of their franchise, Victor Wembanyama, who is sidelined with a left calf strain and expected to miss several weeks. Wembanyama has been nothing short of sensational this season, averaging 26.2 points, 12.9 rebounds, and 3.6 blocks per game. Earlier this month, he and Castle delivered an ultra-rare spectacle, both notching 20-point triple-doubles in the same game. Losing that dynamic duo at the same time is a cruel twist for a Spurs squad that appeared ready to climb the Western Conference standings. Despite the adversity, San Antonio found a way to grind out a 10-point win over Memphis, proving their depth runs deeper than many assumed. De'Aaron Fox stepped up with 26 points on 10 of 20 shooting, while Harrison Barnes delivered 23 crucial points as the team leaned heavily on its veteran scorers. The challenges didn't stop there. Backup point guard Jordan McLaughlin also missed the contest after suffering a hamstring strain in practice. In response, Julian Champagny was thrust into the starting lineup, adding another layer of unpredictability to an already chaotic week for the Spurs. Even with the lineup shuffle and multiple key players out, San Antonio continues to find ways to stay afloat. The team now sits at 10-4, winners of 2 straight and 5 of their last 7. It's a testament to their balance, coaching discipline, and next-man-up mentality, a hallmark of Spurs basketball for decades. The schedule doesn't ease up, though. On Thursday night, they'll host the Atlanta Hawks, and they'll do so once again without Castle, Wembanyama, and McLaughlin. The Spurs will need every ounce of creativity and grit to keep their momentum alive as they await the return of their young stars. As Castle begins the recovery process, the organization, and the fan base, are hoping his evaluation in the coming weeks brings good news. For now, San Antonio must continue weathering the storm, leaning on resilience, teamwork, and patience as they attempt to stay near the top of a fiercely competitive Western Conference. It hit me in a way I wasn't quite prepared for. Somewhere between the light banter on NBA Coast to Coast Tuesdays and the hum of a Spurs game missing its biggest attraction, there was Victor Wembanyama, standing on the sidelines in street clothes, equal parts restless and bewildered, like someone told a hyper-gifted kid he wasn't allowed to touch his toys. And the unsettling truth that kept trying to surface was this: maybe this is what being a fan of the Wemby-era Spurs is going to look like. Not just this week, not just this season, but as long as the franchise is tethered to a 7'5" superhuman whose body is being asked to withstand forces no basketball player has ever truly endured. We've heard the same refrain for years. Through his ascent as a top prospect on draft night, and all the way up to his NBA debut, he'll be incredible if he stays healthy. And sure, that phrase is technically true for every talented young star. But Victor isn't like everyone else. Nothing about him is typical. He's impossibly tall, impossibly long, impossibly unique. The kind of athlete whose anatomy demands both more weight and less weight at the same time. His daily routine is a delicate science experiment where the variables must be controlled with surgeon-like precision. Every stretch, every warm-up, every step feels like it carries additional meaning. This isn't fear-mongering. This isn't doom. His calf strain is minor, and he'll be back soon. But it's also fair to admit this is the reality we're living in. The margin for error with Wembanyama is thinner than we might like to believe. His body simply deals with stress in ways no one else's does. And when you pair that with NBA history, Yao, Walton, Oden, Embiid, Davis, the pattern becomes harder to ignore. Extremely tall players rarely get 82 clean games. Often, they don't even get 60. When you watch Victor, you're watching a gift and a gamble intertwined. A miracle with a warning label. The Spurs know this. They have to. Their present, future, brand, revenue, relevance. All of it is built on the health of one man. And that means he's going to sit. A lot. He's going to sit when something hurts. He's going to sit when something might hurt. He's going to sit for reasons you and I will never even hear about. Forgot to stretch before bed? Sit. Quad feels weird? Sit. Blink too hard? Sit again. The Spurs will prioritize caution over entertainment 100 times out of 100. And that's not just understandable, it's smart. Tim Duncan lived this life too, and it worked beautifully. The Spurs practically invented the DNP, we do not give a damn, philosophy. They didn't care about your nationally televised matchup. They didn't care about your tickets. They cared about May and June. Wemby will get the same treatment, multiplied by 10. And in the long run, it will make this team better. But in the short term, yeah, it's a bummer. It's okay to admit that. Tom Haberstroh recently highlighted a worrying trend around star availability, and it feels like every big matchup collapses under the weight of injuries before tip-off. Spurs. Grizzlies was supposed to be a showcase. Instead, it became another reminder that this is the new NBA. Still, once the game actually happened, it turned out to be fun? Chaotic fun, but fun nonetheless. Harrison Barnes morphed into peak Kawhi for stretches. De'Aaron Fox ran the offense like it was his personal workshop. Kelly Olynyk gave us a sequence that made me yell louder than I have any right to during a regular season game in November. The Spurs even managed to win despite getting out-rebounded like they forgot what life without Wemby looks like. And through it all, they found a way. Mostly by handing the keys to Harrison Barnes, who suddenly looks like the best player on earth every few minutes. The real intrigue moving forward is watching how this team maintains its identity. Fast-paced. Defensive-minded. Relentless. They don't have Wemby, Castle, or Harper right now, but they still have length, hustle, and enough shooters to keep games from spiraling. The defensive rotations tightened late. The urgency picked up. They closed the door on a Memphis team that wouldn't go away. It wasn't pretty, but it was impressive. And then came the imaginary press conference, which was, fittingly, a debate about everything but the game. Why focus on Wemby's long-term health instead of what happened on the floor? Because like it or not, that's the gravitational force pulling this season, and this franchise, in every direction. This is the new norm. Not full-strength lineups. Not clean injury reports. Just constant improvisation, constant adjustment, and the constant awareness that the most important piece of the puzzle is often sitting 6 feet from the court in a hoodie. Is the NBA at risk of making the regular season meaningless? Maybe, but it can't be fully meaningless. Someone has to win the games. Someone has to climb the standings. Someone has to make the playoffs matter. And until the league figures out its approach to injuries, rest, and superstar workload, we might just be living in this strange limbo between excitement and dread, hope and hesitation, highlight and MRI. Sports can be boring. Sports can be chaotic. Sports can be repetitive. But they're ours, and honestly, we'd riot without them.